Kat Kosmala and John Michael Littleton with Unscripted Real Estate.
You seem tired.
I'm sorry, I'm not tired. And we're here to talk to you about first-time home buyers. So common misconceptions, as well as a little bit of the process once you go under contract.
Yes.
Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
He was trying to prep me.
I was not pimping you.
Prep me prior, but anyways, topics, first-time home buyers. So
if you're a first-time home buyer.
Oh wait, sorry. And Ryan's not here because he decided to take time off to attend his daughter's wedding tomorrow. So we do miss you, Ryan.
Do we?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so first-time home buyers. We want to handle kind of just some of the misconceptions, some of the process, some of the concerns with it, just because it can seem like this big process that's very overwhelming, and honestly, it isn't. And so the first thing we want to talk about is kind of that option of should I rent or should I buy? Because that's really what it comes down to. Everyone has to live somewhere unless you're still living with your parents. And if you're still living with your parents...
Brittany Kosmala.
Brittany Kosmala?
No.
Is that what you said underneath your breath? Would that be your daughter?
Yeah, maybe.
Like, do it. Mom will cook dinner. You've got free lodging.
No.
You don't have to pay bills. You get free Wi-Fi. Like, honestly, as a realtor, my recommendation is live with your parents until they kick you out. It might hurt your dating life.
But if you don't have that option...
Yeah, then, so your option is either to rent a house or an apartment or to buy. And honestly, we're going to sound biased because we're realtors. We sell houses. We can help with rentals, but that's really not our thing. We deal more with the buying and selling of real estate. And so...
Now, Ryan can help you with rentals.
Ryan can.
He is in the property
Ryan
management
does property
department.
management. Call him. His number's 405-555-2424.
That's pretty good.
That's not his number. I have no clue what his number is. So rent versus buy. Your main thing is.
Did you just give a friend's number out? What just happened?
No, that's
just
from Full House, I think.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, let's stay focused. When you're either renting or buying, the reality is you're paying someone's mortgage. You're either paying your mortgage or you're paying your landlord's mortgage.
And you're making them wealthy.
You're making their payment for them, and so they're reaping all of the benefits. Now, let me give kind of like this caveat. There's some people that you need to rent, whether it's no matter what stage of life, and we're kind of making it sound like first-time home buyers are only young. First-time home buyers can come at any age and for whatever reason. But there are some people that you need to rent because you're not in the right place to do that. Either you don't know that you're going to be in your place long-term, or there are several different places that you might be in life that means you need to rent for at least a little bit of time. But like I was saying, is that you're paying rent, or you're paying someone's mortgage. And it's always going to be better to pay your own mortgage because that means that you're going to reap the benefits of that. My situation, I'm 35 years old. My wife and I purchased our first home when I think we were like 22, 23. We got married pretty young, bought a house after a year of renting. I say we were renting. We were renting from my dad, and we never paid rent. So I don't know if he filed that on our credit or what, but we still, to this day, haven't paid rent to him. So sorry, Dad. But we bought a house, $125,000, cute little house. We loved it. It worked great for that time. In those like 4 or 5 years we lived there, we paid down and had about $10,000 in equity after that. When we went and bought our new house, we bought one that needed a little bit of work, not a ton. It was livable, but needed a little bit of work. We improved it. When we sold that, we had then like $40,000 to $50,000 in equity to put down towards the house that we now live in today, and we were able to put a good chunk of money down. That was because we started early and just started making payments. At that time, I was, in ministry. She was an assistant for somebody. We didn't have a lot of money, but we were just able to slowly pay that down. And so that's the real life benefit of paying down your mortgage. As opposed to renting and paying someone else's mortgage. Your house is appreciating and you're owing less, and so when it comes time to sell, you have money to go and put down on that next house.
So,
was that boring?
It wasn't boring. It was great to hear your story.
Was it a good story?
It was a great story. So he's
that.
also, I refer to that as equity. Basically, you're paying down that principal, and every year you have more equity that is your own equity. And when you do go to sell, you can take that and, like John Michael said, buy another home. But one of the things that I hear a lot is a lot of times people think that you need 20% down to go in and buy a home, and that's just not true. There are some people that can go in and buy a property with bringing $0 to the table. There are various loans out there, and you definitely would need to connect with a lender that could help you figure out what is the best loan for you. But it's no longer that where you need to have 20% saved in order to get into a home. There are products out there now that you can as low as 3 to 5% on FHA loans. And that's really, a lot of times if you have a great real estate agent, they can negotiate that for you. So you're getting the sellers to pay those costs for you, so you come to the table.
Some of those closing costs?
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's just a lot of options out there that first-time home buyers may not be aware of. Another thing kind of I get from my first-time home buyers is, what does the process look like? Well, we've talked about it before. You connect yourself with a real estate professional that works for you, that you feel comfortable with. You interview one or two to make sure that they meet what you're looking for, as well as you connect with them on a relationship-based level, because we are in a relationship-based business. And then I think the next thing is, obviously they're going to connect you with a great lender, preferably local lender, just because they know the ins and outs of the area. And then they can
and they're easier to get a hold of. Like if
yes,
there's all these advertisements. Rocket Mortgage. Who's that? Is that Quicken? I think it's Quicken. There's all these national ones. Please, for the love of everything, like, don't go with a national lender. They're so hard to get in contact with. It makes the process so difficult. You need someone that knows the area, but also you need someone that you can just go to their office. I don't think any of you are flying to Oregon or wherever Quicken is. I made up Oregon. I literally have no clue where they are.
Yeah.
They might be in Tokyo.
It does make the process a lot smoother, and I think that's the important piece to purchasing a home, is the goal is that the transaction is smoother. And as a first-time home buyer, you don't want to have to worry and stress about trying to contact a lender, because a lot of times they work 9 to 5 hours, especially your national lenders, even local national lenders. I feel like they work true banker hours. So just connecting yourself with the right lender is important. What other tips? What other common misconceptions do you think?
Really it kind of plays into what the process looks like. I think one of the common misconceptions is just that it's this big, overwhelming process. And that is, again, these shows aren't to like pump up realtors and advertise ourselves or anything like that. But if you do partner with a really good realtor, and then either a lender that you know, or you go off the recommendation of your realtor and you maybe use one of their lenders, plus you've got a good title company, when that team is working for you, it really seems like a very just easy, seamless process of you going and you looking at homes that you like or don't like, but eventually circling around that right one, and then they help you with getting financing, finalized, with inspections, and all those different things that happen in the process. So really, if you connect yourself with the right people, it's such an easy process. And some of you may have heard of like these nightmare stories, and in all reality, it probably came from someone that thought, let me do this on my own, or even let me start it and do the process, and then once I find a house, then I'll maybe get a realtor involved or a lender involved. Get everyone involved at the beginning, and they will guide you through that process. If you're scared that your credit isn't good enough, get with a lender right now. Find out. Your answer might be no, but it also might be yes. And even if it is no, they might be able to help you through how to get your credit up. If you pay this down.
And so that's one point I'd like to make, is a lot of times people think, oh, my credit's not good enough, or I've got things that I want to take care of before I contact a lender. And you know what? There are options now that they can help you and tell you exactly what to pay off, how much to pay off. They have this whole process in helping people repair credit if that's an issue. So you, again, get connected with a real estate professional who's going to connect you with a lender. And then maybe a takeaway, so that we can, one big takeaway for first-time home buyers. Once you've got your real estate agent picked out and you've got your lender, what's the one takeaway that you would give?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. You don't have anything?
Just do it?
No.
What's your takeaway? If you've got your team in place, what is your one big takeaway?
So you have a buyer's
buyer's
session with your real estate
professional.
And you figure out how the process is as far as determining on what your wants and needs are, what kind of home you're looking for, what's going to fit in your budget, and then what the benefits of looking at an older home or a newer home as far as utility costs and all these other things that play a role. So that's what I would say is get that buyer's consultation with your real estate professional.
Oh, now I've got one bigger takeaway.
No, it's time to go.
If you hit stop,
Hurry up.
I will burn this place down.
Hurry up.
Buyer's agents, they cost $0. So
yes.
There is apps. Don't you get away from the button.
Yes,
I
right.
see you.
We're
don't
free.
even. Yes,
we are free.
We are free. It's paid for by the listing agent, and so
our services.
Yes, our services. And so we're going to come in there, we're going to help you, and it's going to be at zero cost to you. It doesn't hurt your offer. I think we talked about that in another video. Your offer already has commission built in from the point of view of the seller. So there literally are zero reasons to be able to not use a realtor. So every time that you buy a house, you should use a realtor, and you should use Kat because she's better.
Oh, that's so kind of you.
Bye.